So in our last class, we were discussing about groups. So I think we have discussed the definition of a group and what is an abelian group. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is a group? Just those properties. Anyone?
Which satisfy the property like closure,
Yes.
associative,
Associative.
existence of identity, existence
Yes.
of inverse.
Yes. That means any set, any non-empty set under an binary operation like a star is called a group if it satisfies first property is the closure property, second is the associative property, next there must exist the inverse of every element of G in G, and the last property is the identity, existence of identity. Okay, so if any non-empty set under a binary operation star satisfies these four conditions, then we can call that the set forms a group under that particular binary operation. Now in your headphones. So in today's class, we will discuss about some important properties, or you can say important theorem on group theory. So here, hello.
Ma'am,
Yes.
mention history who is in unmute.
Yes. There must be, I think, there must be, you can mute your headphone. So here we will discuss some properties of a group theory. Now these properties are important for your MCQ. Okay. So here the statement, actually you need the statement only, but for some statements I will show you the proof also. Okay. So here in a group G, the identity element is unique. That means for in a particular group G, there must have only one identity element. Okay, so let's prove that statement. So first of all, let us take, suppose E and E dash are two elements of G. So here we have taken two elements E and E dash in the set non-empty set G. Then which act as an identity. That means suppose we are taking two identities, one is E, next one is E dash in that particular set G. So then since E belongs to capital G, that means suppose this E belongs to capital G and we are taking E dash as the identity. So what is the rule for identity? If we multiply any element to the identity, then we will get the same element. So that's why if we multiply E, that means any ordinary element of a capital G with the identity element E dash, we will get the same element small e. So here I have written E dash into E is equals to E into E dash. So this is the property for identity element. Okay, so we have E dash into E is equals to small e is equals to E into E dash. Next what I have taken, that as E dash belongs to capital G and E is the identity. Now see, you may have a question that why I am taking E dash as identity, again I am taking E as the identity. Because in the first line itself I have explained that suppose we have assumed that that particular group G has two identity elements E and E dash. So first of all we are taking E dash as the identity and the next we are taking E as the identity. So as E dash belongs to capital G and E is the identity, so again by the rule of the identity, we are getting E dash into E is equals to E dash is equals to E into E dash. So again these two are the properties of identity. Now see here, suppose this is your equation 1, this is your equation 2. Now if you compare equation 1, that means this particular line with this line, you will get that E dash is equals to E. Okay, E dash is equals to E. That means if we have, suppose we have assumed that the particular set G or the particular group G has two identity elements E and E dash, then after using the rule for the property for the identity element, we are getting that those two elements E and E dash are equal. Equal means what? Yes, the two elements are same. That means we can say that the identity element in a group is unique. Okay, so this is your first statement in a group, that always remember that the identity element is unique. Okay, so these are some simple proofs are there. So I think all of you have understand that proof. Here I have used only the property of identity,
No,
nothing else.
ma'am.
Hello? Yes?
Can you
You
repeat
have
it?
doubt? Okay. Again I am repeating that. So this line is clear,
Yes, ma'am.
because just for assumption that we are taking two identity elements. One is E, next one is E dash. Okay. Now suppose we are taking any element small e belongs to capital G, and next we are taking E dash as the identity. Okay. So by the rule of identity, because the identity element is that particular element, if you multiply any element to that identity element, we will get the same element. For example, in multiplication of a natural number, the identity element is 1, because if you multiply any element, suppose 3 into 1, again you are getting 3. Okay. So here also this E is suppose your 3 and this E dash is your 1. So 1 into 3 is equals to 3 is equals to 3 into 1. Okay. So this is a particular case where I have taken E as a 3. Okay. Now is it clear? This line. This is the rule of identity. Is it clear?
About order, sir, ma'am.
Hello? Hello?
Order, ma'am. Order.
Order. Yes. The order
Ah,
here I have written that, see, the multiplication is if you multiply 1 and 3, that means 1 into 3 you are getting 3. Again if you multiply 3 into 1 you are getting 3, because if you take first position the identity into the element is equals to, again you will get 3. Next, first you will taking the element, next the second position you will take the identity, again you will get the same number 3. So that's why I have written E dash, that means identity element into any other element will get that other element. Again if you multiply the other element with the identity element, you will get the same element. Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the case when you will take E dash as an identity. In the next line, I have taken E as the identity and E dash as any other element. Okay. So here that's why I have written as E dash belongs to capital G. That means E dash is any other element of a capital G and small e is the identity element. Then again you will get E dash into E is equals to E dash. But why I have written here, see, there is a difference. Here here I have written E. Now in this line I have written E dash. Why I have written E dash in place of E? Do you have any idea?
because E is identity. If we multiply with identity, then result will be.
Yes, yes. Because In the second line, E dash is any other element and E is the identity. So if you multiply E dash, that means any element with the identity, you will get the element. Okay, so that's why here I have written E dash. Again is equals to E into E dash. Okay, now if you compare these two lines, you see the left hand side, that means E dash into E. Here also the left hand side is E dash into E. Again, if you compare E into E dash, here also I have written E into E dash. Now, in our mathematics, see, in our whole chapter from school onwards, you are getting that if you multiply 5 and 3, you always get 50. In any circumstances, you will get 15 only. You will not get 5 into 3 as a 40. You will always get 50. Okay, that means the multiplication of any two particular number is a fixed number. Is it clear? See, in downtown, if you multiply
Yes,
3
ma'am.
and 5, you will get 15. In your school, like those who are from Arunachal, if you multiply 3 and 5 in Arunachal, again you will get 15. So 15 is a fix if you multiply 3 and 5. So here also it is the same case. If you multiply E dash and E, you are getting E, and here also E dash and E is equals to E dash. That means there must be one possible condition, which is E dash is equals to E. Now is it clear?
Ma'am.
Okay, are you clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your first statement, that in a capital G, the identity element is unique. That means for a particular group, you will get only one identity. Okay. Now let's see the second property. Here, the inverse of each small a belongs to capital G is unique. That means here I want to say that if you have a particular element A in that particular group G, then that particular element small a must have an unique inverse. That means for A, you will get A inverse. You will not get B inverse for A. So the inverse is also unique. Now let's prove this statement. Okay. So here again I have taken that let small a belongs to capital G. That means this is a small a is any arbitrary element of a capital G, which is a group. Be any element, and if possible, we will assume that A dash and A double dash be two inverse element of A. Okay. So here what I have written, that we are taking any particular element small a in G, and for that small a we will have two inverse like A dash and A double dash. Okay. This one just one assumption. Okay. Now if A dash is the inverse of A, so by definition of inverse, A into A dash is equals to A dash into A is equals to E. That means in the definition of an inverse, we have that property that if you multiply the inverse of any element, you will get the identity. Like if you multiply 2 and half, because half is the inverse of 2, you are getting 1, because 1 is the identity element. Is it correct? This line, all of you clear? A dash into A is equals to,
No, ma'am.
not correct? See, if you have
Yeah.
the definition of inverse, see in inverse, suppose we are talking about the group of a natural number under multiplication. Okay, so if I consider the element 2, what is the inverse of 2? Multiplicative inverse
1/2.
1 by 2. Okay, now multiply 2 and 1 by 2. What you are getting? 1. And what is 1 for the group of natural number under multiplication? What is 1? 1 has a particular,
Identity.
yes, identity. That means if you multiply any number with its inverse, you will get the identity 1. Okay. So here also I have taken any element capital small a, and the inverse of small a is a dash. Okay, this is only a symbol. This a dash represents the inverse, like 2 and half. So if a is 2 and a inverse is half, then if you multiply 2 and half, you will get the inverse, you will get the identity. Okay. Now this identity is represented by the symbol small e. Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so this is for A dash. Okay. Now we have already assumed that A has two inverse. One is A dash, another is A double dash. Now for A double dash also, we will get A into A double dash is equals to A double dash into A is equals to E. That means if you have another inverse of a small a as a double dash, then also by the property of inverse, you will get a into a double dash is equals to a double dash into a is equals to e, which is again the identity element. Okay. Now see, in this two line, what we have done, suppose you have a 2 and 2 dash, you are getting e. Again you have a 2 and something else, you are multiplying, again you are getting e. So here if you compare these two lines, these two are same. But what about this a dash and a double dash? Okay.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes.
How can one number have a two inverse?
Yeah, that is we are going to prove that one number cannot have two inverse. So that's why first of all we are assuming that a particular number has two inverse. Then after calculation we will getting a contradiction because we are getting the same number small e if we multiply a with the two inverse. Okay. This is called as the contradiction method. This is a particular method where first of all we assume something, then by using that assumption we are getting a wrong result. That means why we are getting a wrong result? Because our assumption is wrong. So what is our assumption in this statement? We have assumed that a has two inverse. By taking this two inverse we are getting a contradiction. That means a cannot have two inverse. Okay. So this method has a particular name and it is known as the contradiction method. You can search in the net the contradiction method. You will see that method. Suppose you have to suppose that condition, and after using that particular condition you will get a wrong answer, and on the basis of that wrong answer you can say that okay, our assumption was wrong, so that's why we are getting a wrong result. So here also is the same case. We have assumed that A has two inverse. So that's why we are getting a contradiction. So our assumption is wrong. That means A must have only one inverse. That means inverse of each A is unique. Okay. Now this is like if I multiply 3 and 1 by 3, I am getting 1. Okay. 3 into 1 by 3 is equals to 1. Now I am giving you one more thing, that 3 into something like x we are multiplying and we are getting 1. Now from these two conditions, what is the value of x? From these two, what is the value of x? Can you tell me?
1 by 3.
1 by 3. That means see, if I multiply, if I have two conditions like 3 into 1 by 3 equals to 1, and again I have 3 into x is equals to 1, by comparing these two lines or these two statements, I can say that the value of x is 1 by 3. Okay. Similarly, here suppose for the first condition a into a dash, or you can say 3 into 1 by 3 as 1, and again here I am taking 3 into x as 1. So what is the value of x? X is 1 by 3. That means a double dash is equals to a dash. Are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So, so here I have written that. Now I have that a dash. A dash I can write as a dash into e because e is the identity element. So if I write a dash into e, again I am getting a dash. Okay, are you clear about this two part? This two, a dash is equals to a dash into e. Are you clear why I have written a dash is equals to a dash into e?
Yes.
Yes. Then again this e I can replace by c. E has some values. E I can write as a dash, a dash a, or I can write e is equals to a dash into a, or I can write e is equals to a dash. Okay, so in place of this small e, I have written a double dash. So this one I have choose for the value of e. So that's why within bracket I have written a into a double dash. Okay, now as the group satisfies the associative property, so I can change the order of this multiplication. So that's why I have changed the order as a dash a into a double dash. Okay. Now a dash a. So see within bracket I have a dash a. Now what is a dash a? See from the first line a dash a is equals to e. So that's why in place of this bracket I can write small e. Now I have small e into a double dash. Okay. Are you clear about this part? This part, are you clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as E is the identity element, that means if you multiply E with any element, you will get the same element. That means E into A double dash, you will get A double dash. Now see, we have proved that A dash is equals to A double dash. That means the inverse of A is unique. Okay. So this is the proof to show that the inverse of each element or in G is unique. Now let's go to our third statement, and which says that the inverse of inverse, that means a dash a to the power 1 by a to the power minus 1. So here the statement says that the inverse of a small a, which is represented by a to the power minus 1. Again, if we take the inverse, that means the inverse of a to the power minus 1 is equals to a for all small a belongs to capital G, where a inverse stands for the inverse of a. Now I think you have some confusion on this statement, so let's simplify this. This is like, what is the inverse of 2? What
1
is
by 2.
1 by 2?
Minus 2.
Okay, 1 by 2. And what is the inverse of 1 by 2?
2.
Inverse of
2.
1 by 2? 2.
2.
That means, see, first inverse of 2 is 1 by 2. Again, the inverse of 1 by 2 is 2. So that's why here I have written the inverse of a is a to the power minus 1. Again, the inverse of a to the power minus 1 is a. So this is same as the inverse of 2 is half, and the inverse of half is 2. Okay. So this is one more important property of a group. That means if you take the double inverse of any element, you will get the same element. It is like if you are taking the inverse of 4, you will get 1 by 4. Then again, if you take the inverse of 1 by 4, you will get 4. Okay. So this is the property that the double inverse of any element will give you the same element for all small a belongs to capital G, where A inverse stands for inverse of A. Okay. So this is your third statement. Now there is a one more statement, one more rule, which says that the inverse of product of A and B, the inverse of the product of A and B is equals to B inverse into A inverse. Now here, what is important, why I have written this line? Here see the order is A into B within bracket, but if you means open this bracket, then you have B inverse into A inverse. That means suppose you have two elements 2 and 3. Okay, if you multiply 2 and 3, then you will take the inverse again, which is equals to 3 inverse into 2 inverse. Now are you clear about this statements? Are you clear? All these four statements, these are important for your MCQs.
Yes, ma'am. But A B to the power in A B inverse, there is a slice.
No, this
thing.
is just typing mistake. So this is AB whole inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. This line will be written will be read as AB whole inverse is equals to B inverse into A inverse for all AB belongs to capital G. Okay?
Ma'am,
Okay? Yes.
will this applicable for under addition?
Under addition, what is the inverse of 1 under addition?
-1.
-1. So if you if see the addition will be like this. Okay, here I have I'll give you one example. In addition, if I have one element 2, then its inverse is -2. Okay. Then again, if you have one element 4, the inverse is -4. Okay. We are taking now addition. So 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay. Now what is the inverse of 6? It is minus
-6.
6. Okay. So 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. This is like, this part is like the left hand side. So here it is multiply, but we are taking addition. So that's why 2 plus 4 is 6 and the inverse of 6 is -6. Now next, what is the inverse of 2? It is -2. Okay. What is the inverse of 4? It is -4. Okay. Now -2 plus -4 is equals to -2 plus -4 is equals to -6. See, in both ways we will get the same number as a -6. Okay. Are you clear about the addition?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your fourth property. You have one more property, like now the fifth property is, suppose you have three elements A, B, C in a group. Then A into B is equals to A into C. See, A into B is equals to A into C. So this you can write as B is equals to C. That means you can cancel A from both sides. Okay. So AB is equals to AC implies B equals to C. Again, if you have B into C is equals to C into A, you will get B is equals to C. Now, what is the difference between these two lines? Can you tell me the difference between the two lines?
Order.
Yes, the order, because here I am taking A is the first place, in the second line A is the second place. That means you can cancel the first place if they are equal, or you can cancel the second places if they are equal. So here AB is equals to AC implies that B equals to C. Again, B into A is equals to C into A. You can write B is equals to C, and this is known as the cancellation law in group theory. Okay, so cancellation law in group theory. So these are 5 important properties of a group. So you have to remember that a group must only have an identity element. That means the identity element is unique. Inverse of every element is unique. Then the double inverse of any element will give you the element, same element, and AB whole inverse is equals to B inverse, A inverse, and the cancellation law of a group theory. Okay. So these are some basic definition of a group theory. So let's,
Ma'am,
yes,
some
yes,
students are waiting in the
yes,
lobby.
I have unlocked that one. I don't know why it is every time it is unlocked lock the meeting, because in the setting itself I have unlocked at the very beginning of the meeting. Okay. So these are the properties of a group. Now let's see some MCQs of a group theory. Okay. So these are some MCQs of a group theory. Uh, Let me do one thing. I will stop. Okay. So here the first question is, a non-empty set A is termed as
It's
an
blank, ma'am.
blank. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Display is blank.
Okay. Again, I will share. Now, is it visible?
Ma'am.
Hmm.
Oh, ma'am, now it's
No, ma'am.
It's not visible.
Yes, ma'am. How is it visible?
now it's
Yes.
visible. Ma'am, now it's visible now.
Yes. So here is the first question. A non-empty set A is termed as an algebraic structure. So here is you have to fill in the blank. So here the options are: with respect to a binary operation star, with respect to a ternary operations question, with respect to binary operations plus, and with respect to unary operation minus. So which is the correct option? A non-empty set A is termed as an algebraic structure.
A.
Ma'am.
A
A,
with
ma'am.
respect to the binary operation star. So here is the correct answer, option A, and the explanation is: a non-empty set A is called an algebraic structure with respect to the binary operation star if A star B belongs to S for all A star B belongs to S. Therefore, star is close operation on A. That means from the definition itself we will know that the non-empty set A is termed as an algebraic structure with respect to binary operation. Okay. Now, next question is, an algebraic structure dash is called a semi-group. So I think you have not done that portion of a semi-group. So monad also you have not done. Yes. Question number 5. A group M star is said to be abelian if, so for a particular group G, when it is called an abelian group, which is the fifth condition of a group?
A. Commutative.
B, ma'am, B.
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 So commutative, that means A cross B is equals to B cross A. So here is the correct answer, option B. Explanation is a group M star is called the abelian group if X star Y is equals to Y star X. It should be Y star X. Okay. So thus commutative property should be whole in a group. Then the particular group is known as an abelian. Next, yes. Question number 8. How many properties can be held by a group? For a group, how many properties it must satisfy?
4.
4 properties.
4.
Because it is only a group. If it is a abelian group, then how many properties?
5.
5. So let's see what is the correct option. Option C. Why option C? Commutative property is not for a group, it is only for an abelian group. So it is not the correct option because here only it is a group, so the correct option will be option D. Okay, this option is for an abelian group, option C, for 5 properties. Okay, so because first of all closure property, associative, identity and inverse, so this third property is for abelian group. So you plus remember for only 4 properties to satisfy for a group. Now see, this one is only a simple example of some MCQs on a group theory. Okay, so if you search like MCQs on group theory, you will get many MCQs. I have taken the first one. Let's see what are there in second part. So I think yes. So there are some questions like, this is an abelian group -3 minus thrice where n belongs to set of integers under which operation? See, the abelian group, that means that particular group must satisfy the 5 properties. Okay, division, subtraction, addition, multiplication. Let's see the answer. Answer is C. Under addition, it is said that it will form an abelian group. Can you prove this one? Can you check the 5 properties? So what is the first property?
Closure.
Closure. Okay, I'll stop here because it will cut, because only 40 minutes I can take the class. So let's stop here for today.